Important note, never tamper with voltage to teach a lesson. That's dangerous and illegal. This story uses lawful monitoring, locks, and documentation to stop energy theft. No damage, no risk. At 6:47 p.m., my phone buzzed. Charging session started. Garage circuit. Weird, because my car was parked at the airport, and I was on my porch with a glass of iced tea. I opened the live cam.on screen, Diane, tan visor, HOA clipboard, unplugged my level 2 charger from its holster, snapped a shiny adapter on the tip, and slid it into her Tesla like it was born to freeload. She glanced left, glanced right, then leaned on my fence like she'd just discovered renewable brunch. By the time the sun dipped, my solar was feeding her battery. By the end of the month, the logs would show 186 kilowatt-hours of neighborly donations, and the HOA would learn there's a law called theft of services and a homeowner named me who knows how to use a printer. No, I didn't crank the voltage. I cranked the receipts. Free sunshine. That isn't free. We went solar last year. 18 panels. Neat black-on-black production meter that pings my phone every time a circuit sips. It covers our usage most months and spins the meter backward on good days. It also makes certain neighbors feel entitled to the sky. The first hint was a neighborhood post. Is it okay to plug in at a neighbor's if they have solar? It's just sunshine. The replies were not unanimous. Diane, who chairs sustainability, which is irony with a visor, commented, "Community means sharing." 2 weeks later, I caught sharing on cam. My charger hanger sits on an exterior wall by our driveway, my circuit, my equipment, my bill. While I put the kids to bed, Diane backed her Tesla halfway up my drive, reached over the rail, and started sharing. The session lasted 40 minutes. I didn't see it until the push alert after. I chalked it up to misunderstanding and sent a polite text. "Please don't use my charger without asking." She wrote back, "It's solar. You're not paying for it." Which is wrong both legally and in the way that makes accountants cry. I emailed the HOA, "Reminder, outlets, chargers on private lots are not common property. Please advise residents not to use others' power without permission. Also, cords across sidewalks are a safety hazard." Beige voice Carla replied, "The board encourages neighbors to be generous." Translation: Not our problem. The second, plug and the binder. The second plug happened on a Tuesday. Broad daylight, visor bright, same adapter, same reach. My monitor pinged, 7.3 kilowatt, steady. She left the cable stretched across my walkway like a tripwire for Amazon drivers. I walked out. "Hey, Diane, that's my circuit." She smiled a smile that could curdle batteries. "You have panels. It's free." "It's net metered," I said. "When you charge at 6 p.m., that's peak rate from the grid. Also, consent." She shrugged. "We'll discuss it at the meeting." I did my part. Called the non-emergency line and asked how to document theft of electricity. The dispatcher said, "Log the dates, times, and any video. If you want a case number, we can send an officer." I opted for documentation first. Then I did 3 boring legal things. Installed a smart lock on the charger holster and enabled the charger's access control so it won't deliver power without. My app or RFID card clamped a monitoring sensor on the dedicated EV circuit so every watt had a timestamp. Notifications, max on, texts, emails, push alerts. Put a private charger, not for public use sign above the holster. Ugly? A little? Necessary? Absolutely. Operation receipts. You can guess what happened. The lock didn't stop the idea. The next evening, my phone pinged again, but on a different circuit, the exterior GFCI outlet by the garage. Diane had switched tactics and plugged her portable Tesla charger into my 120 Basav outdoor plug using a fat orange extension cord that looked like a lawsuit wearing sunscreen. Good news, my monitor saw it. Different circuit, Same watchful parent. Energy. I hit record on the porch cam. She charged for 2 hours, sipping slower but still sipping. While my panels watched the sun, the grid watched my meter. I sent one more email, calm and surgical. Unauthorized use of my EV charger and exterior. Outlet occurred on dates, times. Video attached. KWH logs attached. This is theft of services. You may not use another resident's power without permission, solar or not. Remove the community charging post from the forum or clarify that use requires consent. If this continues, I will bill for power at the utilities retail rate plus service charges and pursue small claims if unpaid. They replied with the HOA version of shrug emojis. The board will review at the next meeting. The meeting and the handshake lesson. The clubhouse smelled like coffee and assumptions. The board sat at a folding table. Diane arranged papers, like she was shuffling cards in a game called Vibes Win Law. Diane started, "He has solar. We want to pilot a sharing program." I held up my phone showing my charger app. My charger requires an authenticated handshake. That isn't sharing. It's authorization. I've turned it on. You've bypassed it by using my outlet. That's not a pilot. That's theft. The attorney, finally awake, asked, "Do you have logs?" I slid a packet across, timestamps, KWH totals, and stills of Diane's car at my rail. 186 kilowatts total across 4 sessions. At 31C, peak retail including delivery fees, that's $57.66 per session on average. Diane scoffed. "It's solar." "Not at 6 p.m., I said. "And even if it were, it's still my system. Consent matters." A neighbor raised a hand. "I'd love community chargers, but this ain't it." The board mumbled about community spirit. I said, "Community spirit is asking." Then I thanked everyone for their time and went home to do the thing that moves boards more than speeches, invoices. The bill and the knock-eye sent 2 demand letters, one to Diane, one to the HOA, itemized by session, unauthorized charging sessions. Dates, times, X measured KWH X retail rate nuisance, safety, cord across walkway documented, administrative time, modest, total due in 10 days. I attached a draft small claims form. I CC'd the property manager and, because I am efficient, the HOA's insurance carrier listed on their website with potential loss, theft of services a liability hazard in the subject. 2 days later, a patrol officer knocked, polite. "We got a call about a billing dispute." I showed him the clips and the meter logs. He shrugged, professional. "Looks like civil theft of services. We'll do an informational report. If it continues, call us while it's happening." He walked next door. 10 minutes later, he returned. I explained she can't plug into your outlets. She said the HOA told her it was fine. I told her the HOA doesn't own your outlets. The last plug and why it helped. The last attempt was almost funny. My charger locked out her adapter. My outlet tripped GFCI the moment her extension cord touched a puddle. The porch cam caught the blink-blink of the tripped button. She stared at it like it had violated a treaty. My phone buzzed again. Motion alert. I watched from the window as she slunk to the HOA forum signpost and tacked up a paper that said, "Please share power, be kind." She underlined kind 3 times. I took a photo. Documentation loves drama. That evening, the board's attorney emailed, "The board will adopt an EV policy at the next meeting. Meanwhile, please refrain from public posts." I replied, "I've refrained. Please pay the invoice. Policy, payment piece. Thursday's meeting was better theater. The attorney spoke first. Using private outlets, chargers without permission is not allowed. We recommend paying the homeowner for documented usage and installing 2 community chargers by the clubhouse with a paper KWH app." The board voted yes to both. The insurers, "We would prefer not to get sued," energy helped. Diane. Paid. A check for $197.44 appeared in my mailbox with a note. We disagree, but will not pursue this further. I took a photo, deposited it, and did not reply. Sometimes dignity is quiet. The new EV policy said, private chargers, outlets are off limits, without written consent. No cords across sidewalks, driveways. Community chargers will be installed. Users pay by app at the retail rate. Violations, fines, repeat violations, amenity suspension. 2 months later, the clubhouse chargers were live. The app billed at 35 CAD. Diane posted a selfie with a caption, "Loving our new chargers." I hit like. Growth is growth. Lessons from a borrowed battery, solar free for neighbors. Net metering, time of use rates, and hardware cost make just sunshine a bill. Consent isn't optional. Don't escalate dangerously. Never crank voltage, never booby-trap circuits. Lock the charger, monitor usage, and document. Use receipts, not rants. Logs plus video plus a simple invoice. Move boards faster than Facebook. Loop in the insurer. Potential loss wakes up sleepy policies. Fix the system. Community chargers with app billing end entitlement while helping actual EV drivers. If you like stories where clipboards meet kilowatts and lose, hit subscribe, drop a like, and share your wildest HOA EV moment below. I'll bring the watts. You bring the receipts.